Object-oriented programming, that is OOPS, treat data as a critical element in program development and does not allow it to flow freely around the system. In OOPS, the major emphasis is on data rather than procedure or function. It ties data more closely to functions that operate on it and protect it from accidental modification from outside functions. OOPs allow decomposition of a problem into a number of entities called objects and then build data and function around those objects. The data of an object can be accessed only by the function associated with that object. However, function of one object can access the function of other object. For example, the object-oriented programming languages are like C#, C++, Java, .NET, Python, etc. Some important characteristics of object-oriented programming are it emphasizes on the data rather than the functions. Programs are divided into objects. The functions that operate on the data of an object are traced together in the data structure. And data is hidden and cannot be accessed by external functions. Objects may communicate with each other through functions. Here, new data and the functions can be easily added whenever necessary. And finally, the flow bottom-up approach in the program design is followed. The important features of object-oriented programming are like it where we can create a class and object, encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, data binding, message passing, and exception handling. The applications of object-oriented programming are like first one, while creating a user interface design such as windows and menus, in the real-time systems such as control system for cars, aircraft, space vehicles, etc. Thirdly, while creating an office automation system such as document management system, there is a word processing system, spreadsheet system, software, etc. And fourthly, AI and export system, designing AI and export system. Fifthly, neural networks and programming, parallel programming systems, and decision supporting system, and so on. While using an OOPS concept, there is a many advantages. The first one is improved software development productivity. In object-oriented programming is a modular as it provides separation of duties in a object-based program development. It is also extendable as object can be extended to include new attributes and behavior. Objects can also be reused with an across application because those three factors modularity, extendability, reusability, object oriented programming provides improved software development productivity over traditional procedure based programming techniques. Second one is improved software maintainability. Since the design is modular, part of system can be updated in case of issues without a need to make large scale changes. Thirdly, fast development. Reuse enable fast development. Object-oriented programming languages comes with a rich libraries of objects and code development during projects is also reusable in future projects. Fourthly, the lower cost of development. The reuse of software also lower the cost of the development. Typically, more effort is put into the object-oriented analysis and design which lower the overall cost of the development. Fifth one, high quality software. Faster development of software and lower cost of development allows more time and resources to be used in verification of the software. Although quality is dependent upon the experience of the team, object-oriented programming tends to result in high-quality software. Some disadvantages of OOPS. First one is large program size. Object-oriented programs are much larger than other programs. In the early days of computing, space on hard disk, floppy drive, and in memory was at a prime. Today we do not have those restrictions. Second one is effort. Object-oriented programming requires a lot of work to create. Specifically, a great deal of planning goes into an object oriented program well before a single piece of code is ever written. Initially, this early effort was felt by many to be waste of time. In addition, because the programs were large, coders spend more time actually writing the program. Third one is speed. Object oriented programs are slower than other programs, partially because of their size. Other aspects of object oriented programming also demand more system resources, thus the slowing the program down. Some difference between the object oriented programming and the procedure oriented programming. In the object oriented programming, a program is divided into object oriented. Here, procedure oriented, we follow the structure oriented. In OOPS, the program is divided into object. In another side, the program is divided into functions. In OOPS, the bottom up approach is followed. In a procedure oriented, top down approach is followed. In a OOPS, inheritance property is used. In a procedure oriented, inheritance is not allowed. In OOPS, it uses access specifier. In other side, it does not use access specifiers. OOPS uses the encapsulation is used to hide the data. In a procedure oriented, no data hiding is provided. In an object oriented, concept of virtual function is also allowed. In procedure oriented, no virtual function is allowed. In object oriented, object functions are linked through message passing. In a OOPS, in a procedure oriented, parts of programs are linked through parameter passing. In a OOPS, adding new data and function is easy. In a procedure oriented, expanding new data and function is not easy. In a OOPS concept, the existing code can be reused. In a procedure oriented, no code reusability. In a OOPS, used for solving the big problem, but in a procedure oriented, not suitable for solving the big problems. In the OOPS, for example, languages are C++, Java, and so on. In the procedure oriented, C and Pascals and so on are the languages used. Thank you.